Welcome back, everyone. Lovely to have your company here at CruiseAway. Now, we're about to take you on relaxing home-from-home luxury cruise experiences around the world with Holland America Line. Now, I've just been on board one of their ships and seen for myself just how spacious and relaxed the ships feel. Lots of personality and an emphasis on beautifully prepared cuisine, immersive enrichment on board and impeccable service all around their ships. The perfect companion vessels for exciting explorations of the world. Well, we've got some perfect treats lined up for you, including your chance to experience the summer solstice on the most immersive Alaska and Arctic Circle cruising experience I've ever seen in the industry. We're also going to take an enhanced trip featuring the highlights of Asia with Holland America for next November. And we're going to start our travels by taking one of the most incredible Mediterranean cruises next July. And in true DreamAway package style, we've included exciting city stays into the bargain. Now, we start our 26 nights on the 17th of July next year by flying from Sydney over to exciting Barcelona. And when we arrive, you have 2 nights in a hotel to enjoy this stunning city, and there is so much for you to enjoy in the city. The great thing is it's very easy to get around. I mean, there are many different ways of seeing it. There are the hop on hop off bus tours that you can go around, but it's a very wanderable city as well. You'll love the food, of course, you'll love the architecture, and you'll love the sheer variety that there is in Barcelona. Some amazing beaches as well. It's lovely to take a wander along the waterfront. It's really charming, and a bit of a juxtapose to the bustle of the city itself. You'll love, of course, Gaudi's work, the Sagrada Familia, and his house as well. I mean, there's just so much to enjoy. So plenty of time to enjoy that for 2 nights in a hotel before we go sailing. And we are with Holland America Line on the Oosterdam. Now, you will love their ships, because if you've never sailed Holland America Line before, it's a very popular cruise line. You, I'm sure, one way or another, will know people that have cruised with Holland America Line. And it's very much laid-back luxury. It's very relaxed on board. They're kind of mid-sized ships in the cruise industry these days. And the whole feel on board is very relaxed, you know, hassle-free, as you want a holiday to be. Plenty of choices. I mean, they really major on entertainment, and live music is a massive part of what happens on Holland America Line. They have music venues, they have lots of live music, lots of live entertainment. Their other key feature and focus is their enrichment and cuisine. Cuisine is beautifully prepared with lots and lots of different choices as well. Not too much food as well. You're not overfaced with food. It's more about quality of the cuisine on board, and it's served up beautifully as well. The crew on board, you always get a sense and a feeling, and I've been on many cruise ships with many cruise lines over the years, and you always get a sense for how happy a crew is by just how relaxed things are, just how friendly they are, and how they're sort of smiling at each other, and that's something that you want to see, because that makes you nice and relaxed on your holiday as well. And relaxation is a real key on Holland America Line as well. Yes, there are lots of things to do, there are lots of activities, but it's a very peaceful, calming, relaxed, classic cruising experience, which is what you'll want, because we've got quite some cruise coming up. 20 nights out of Barcelona. Our first port is Cannes in France. You can walk the path of the stars here, see the handprints of the rich and famous. You can walk the amazing beachside promenade, just drink in its sheer beauty. Then, talking of beauty, we are off to Portofino in Italy, and you tender into Portofino itself, which is absolutely picture postcard beautiful. But there are also boat trips there you can take up to the Cinque Terre and other highlights in this region too. Further up into Italy, into Livorno next. This is your gateway port into Florence and Pisa. Go and stand by the Leaning Tower and see the sights of the cathedral and the baptistry too. It's very nice indeed. Beautiful day. Nice shopping as well. Next we go into Civitavecchia, which is the port for Rome. So that's a day for you to go in and see the sights of Rome as well. See the awesome Colosseum and so much more. You'll be doing some scenic cruising there past the Stromboli volcano volcano through the Strait of Messina, and we will then head to Valletta in Malta. Just the most beautiful little island, Malta. You can wander the streets here, visit the markets, you can take tours around the island, or head over to Gozo. La Galette in Tunisia is next. Take a tour here into Tunis itself, go and see the old town. You can wander the souk markets, visit the Palace of the Beys, into the Bardo Museum. It's absolutely beautiful. Day at sea, we are in Greece next, into Githyan. This is the port of ancient Sparta. See the neoclassical houses here, the wonderful beaches, and take in the sheer history of a very, very stunning port indeed. Then we come up to one of the real highlight ports in this itinerary, which is Piraeus, the port for Athens. You can take panoramic tours here, see the Temple of Olympian Zeus, the former Royal Palace, the Olympic Stadium of 1896, of course, the National Gardens, and so much more before we cruise on after a day at sea into Kerkyra, which is Corfu in Greece. Now, a nice tour here is down to Palakastritsa, which is a wonderful little resort, or wander around Corfu town itself with its little narrow streets. Croatia next. Time now to wander the walls of King's Landing and other locations for House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, of course. I would love to be there, just taking those pictures and seeing the sights. Next, we move on to Split in Croatia, where you can visit the Cathedral of St. Duge, who's the patron saint of the city. There's the Temple of Jupiter here, and a very colourful open market. I love markets abroad. They're just fascinating, aren't they? Next, we go into Trieste, which is not a million miles away from Venice, so you'll find tours into Venice here. Go in and see the beauty, because there's nowhere like it on earth. Go and see St. Mark's Square, the Basilica, and the Doge's Palace, of course. But Trieste is a beautiful scenic part of the Italian coast. Back to Croatia, to Korčula next, which is a very beautiful little historic island, actually, full of pine trees, olive groves and vineyards, and you can wander the UNESCO Old Town here with its statues, palazzos and its charming streets. Then into Kotor in Montenegro, home of the Maritime Museum here, the very famous Cathedral of St. Tryphon. And it's a big seafaring history here as well, which is well worth finding out about. And the summertime you're there, the yachts of the rich and famous are there. You'll cruise the Bay of Kotor and then a day at sea into Athens. That's where we're going to disembark, Amsterdam. And we're staying here for 2 nights in a hotel, which is wonderful. Of course, we called in some time before in the cruise itself, and now we've got some time to actually drink in the local culture, and I mean that quite literally in a lot of senses, actually, because of course this is an amazing opportunity to try the local wines, to eat the amazing food in Greece, and of course spend more time eye to eye with these ancient sites before we then fly back to Sydney. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. This is a holiday, isn't it? A real holiday. And look at where we're going here. Some time in Barcelona, then our cruise here across the Mediterranean through France and Italy, through Greece and Croatia, through Sicily as well, Montenegro, finishing in Athens with a 2-night stay there. It's the most brilliant, wonderful curated experience, and this is what Holland America Line is all about. Actually, they tend not to do 3, 4, 5 night itineraries. They tend to be bigger itineraries that get you more really into the heart and soul of the region that you're cruising. So this really is an incredible way to tour Europe, and it's next July, remember. We're including your flight from Sydney over to Barcelona, 2 nights in a hotel there, your 20-night Holland America Line cruise, going, as we said, to France, Italy, Malta, Greece, Sardinia, Montenegro, Croatia, and more, ending in the port for Athens and a 2-night hotel stay in Athens before your flight back to Sydney, and all for one exceptional price tag as well, as is always the way here at CruiseAway. I mean, that is a stunning opportunity, and remember, you can book this right now today. You can split the cost with Travel Pay later as well, and you know you've got one of the most exciting holidays on the way. And remember, bookend stays as well in Barcelona and in Athens on this as well. Now, if you want to upgrade while you're on the cruise, the price is based on an interior stateroom, but if you want to go up to an ocean view where you've got, as the name suggests, the view of the ocean, or you want to open the doors to the balcony and go out and sit and just watch the world go by from your own private balcony, you've got your prices on screen there as well. If you need flights in and out of Sydney, again, just talk to the team. 1300 411 968 is the number. And remember, it's toll free to call us. So if you've got any questions or you want to tailor that even further, you can always do that. Listen, to give you a price tag, I have to put some parameters there for you as a package. But of course, you can change that as much as you like. Right, a really, really exciting big adventure right now. For the 31st of June next year, this is taking us on the biggest Alaska itinerary I've ever seen. It's taking us to the Arctic Circle and during summer solstice time as well, over 31 nights. So we'll fly first from Sydney over to Seattle for a 2-night hotel stay there. Seattle's wonderful. You see the Space Needle there with the observation deck, and the restaurant gets you the best views of the city. There it is. And go down. When you're looking from the views from up there, make sure you look down on Pike Place Market and make sure you wander around it as well. It's beautiful. Really, really nice place. You've got Chihuly Gardens in the city. You've got some beautiful, I mean, it's an incredible city in some respects because it's busy in the centre, surrounded by forests and mountains. You will love it. You've got 2 nights there, and then we've got 28 nights on our cruise, which is amazing. This time we're on board Holland America Line's Westerdam, an incredible ship. Again, just like the first ship we saw, the Oosterdam, very, very relaxed. You see the classic teak decks there. You see that classic pool deck here. Everything about Holland America Line is the best of classic cruising with the best of modern service and facilities. I think that's the best way of kind of looking at it, really. You've got a team on board which are just amazing. They are always there for you as well. The ratio of crew to passengers is very, very high. And this is a very, very special cruise as well. I think you'll find that the crew will be just as excited on going on this adventure as you will be, because I'm telling you now, I have seen over the years that I've been talking about cruise, hundreds and hundreds of Alaskan itineraries and similar itineraries, but generally they've been 7, 8, 9 nights at very, very most. Your package here is 28 nights of cruising, which is crazy. So you are going on one of those needle in a haystack opportunities, and I would urge you to get that booked sooner rather than later, because an itinerary like this doesn't really come up that often. Look at the wonderful dining, look at the relaxed atmosphere, and that's exactly what you want to enjoy on board a cruise, because this is all about the places that you're going and the places that you are seeing as well. And it's really, really important that if you've been out in, let's say up in the Arctic Circle, you've been on a cold excursion to glaciers and things, you come back to that lovely, relaxed, warm and inviting environment with lots of entertainment on board as well. We're cruising the Inside Passage first in Alaska through to Ketchikan, where you can hike to the top of Deer Mountain there. You can fly over the misty fjords in a float plane. It's a big fishing area and whale watching area. You'll then cruise the Hubbard and the Prince William Sound and glaciers there through to Sitka. Sitka's beautiful, the Fortress of the Bear, if you get the chance to go. I mean, there will be lots of excursion opportunities for you to be able to take up. And then we cruise the incredible Hubbard Glacier. Well, you know what? They say a picture tells 1,000 stories. And the great thing is you are actually sailing within that picture's distance, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Next, we cruise into Valdez. Now, that's in the US state of Alaska. It's a big city, actually. It's the main port of Alaska, surrounded by snow-capped mountains. Just beautiful. I mean, these places are going to be fascinating to actually go and wander around. College Fjord was only discovered in 1899. Actually, many different types of glaciers are here as well. At one point, you can see 8 different glaciers all at once. Next, we go into Seaward. Now, this is a place where you can take a plane tour over the Harding ice field as well, and over the Kenai fjords, or you can just wander Seaward itself and enjoy the quirky shopping there. It's absolutely beautiful. Next, into Dutch Harbour, very famous for whale watching, and they catch the very famous Alaskan king crabs here. They harvest them here, and they are huge, and that in itself is fascinating to see if you do get the chance. Day at sea, and we go into Nome City next. You can take a tour here and find out how to pan for gold alongside a resident miner, and also find out more about the culture of subarctic Alaska. You will then be crossing the Arctic Circle into Kodiak itself, which is absolutely beautiful. You can experience the history and wildlife all in one here. Big area for bird life as well, puffins, kittiwakes and more. Then we head into Anchorage. Anchorage, we're here for 2 days actually. We're here for an overnight. Now you can go biking and hiking here. There are trails for both, or you can go dog sledding as well, which again would be absolutely incredible to do. Homer is next. Now this is the gateway to the Alaska Maritime National Wildlife Refuge, which is a sanctuary for seabirds, marine mammals and other creatures, which might be interesting to go and see. Again, I mean, if you can, you definitely want to get a balcony for this cruise because you've never seen an itinerary like it. There are very few custodian recognized cruise companies that can cruise through Glacier Bay. Holland America Line is one of them. Then we cruise into Haines, which is great for rafting and hiking. It's lots of fresh seafood here as well. They salmon, fish, halibut and trout here, so you'll love the local offering. And then we'll cruise on to Wrangell. Now, Wrangell is really interesting because you've got this real undulation in the scenery. And again, this great feeling. It might be some of these ports, by the way, that you just simply want to get off the ship and just have a little wander around. Then we go into Prince Rupert. Now, Prince Rupert is British Columbia. Now, there's a rapids park here and a trail. You can head through the temperate rainforest. So it almost feels like the juxtaposition of Alaska in some ways, doesn't it? Go into the sunken gardens if you get the chance to. We end the cruise back in Seattle, and that is then when we fly it back to Sydney. I mean, just look. I mean, the great thing is there are some repeats in the itinerary, which is amazing. That's what you want on an Alaskan kind of deep dive. I mean, I don't think any other cruise line, correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if you've seen differently, but I don't think I've ever seen a more immersive Alaskan itinerary. Of course, in the middle of all that is the summer solstice as well, and that's the day where literally the sun is still visible at midnight and overnight. It's like the never-ending day will occur during this cruise as well, which is amazing. So, Alaska and the Arctic Circle, together with the midnight sun of summertime in Alaska, included your flight from Sydney to Seattle, 2 nights in a hotel there, and then your 28-night cruise on Holland America Line's Westerdam, and the flight back from Seattle through to Sydney. And I have to tell you, given that the world has their eyes on an offer like this, I mean, many people that know Alaska, that have been to Alaska before, will never have seen an itinerary like this in the whole of the cruising industry. Let's have a look at upgrades from here as well, because I think it'll be, I'm surprised, to be honest with you, the balconies are still actually there, because this will be a very popular choice for this particular itinerary, because your eyes will be on stalks the whole time. If you're not on your balcony, you'll be up on top deck, literally whale watching, glacier watching, sight watching, binoculars in hand whole time. If you want to know more, call the team right now, 1300 411 968. Toll-free telephone number. I tell you what an exciting, the more I talk about that offer, the more interested I am in it. And anybody who's wanted to go to Alaska before, that's really doing Alaska. Let me tell you, most Alaskan itineraries, 7, 8, 9 nights in duration. That's a 28-night cruise on that one. Call us right now, and talk to our amazing team. Right, let's jump forward to the 6th of November next year right now. This is another big itinerary that we've got coming up. Completely different part of the world. This is highlights of Asia this time, over 32 nights in all. We start by flying from Sydney to Hong Kong this time. And we've got 3 nights in a hotel in Hong Kong. Hong Kong just looks a fascinating city to go and wander, because you can go up high in Hong Kong, you can ride the tram right the way up to Victoria Peak and see over the whole of Hong Kong. They also have a big Buddha there, a bronze statue that weighs 250 tons. And it's almost as tall as the Statue of Liberty. Brilliant. There are night markets that you can go and explore in Hong Kong. You can wander the Avenue of the Stars in Victoria Harbour. You've got the most incredible shopping. Temple Street is where to head to at night. That's where it all happens. And you can shop into the evening as well, which is quite an unusual experience these days, isn't it? Then it is time for us to cruise. We are back on the Westerdam as we were with our Arctic Circle itinerary. Let me just talk to you about food for a second, because food is a big part of what happens on Holland America Line. Room service included. So if you fancy one evening, you've had a long day excursion, you just can't even muster up the enthusiasm to get dressed up for dinner and go and enjoy entertainment or whatever, and you just want to have a quiet movie night in the cabin with room service. Well, room service, full menu, all included, no extra charge. But if you do decide to go to the restaurants, you've got huge choices. If you want casual as you go, more buffet, then there's the Lido Market. But actually, buffet is a misnomer, because there is someone there behind every station freshly preparing food there for you. If you're poolside during the day and it's a lovely day, you can simply just grab burgers, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, mushroom stacks, the lot at the dive-in poolside grill, which is lovely. Of course, in the evening, you've got main dining, big occasion there. Plenty of choices on the menu and ever-changing menus as well. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure if I could do a cruise for too long where night after night after night the menu was pretty much the same. You know, you need that variety. And if you're looking for variety, there's specialty dining as well, a small cover charge, and it is a small cover charge as well for what you get. You can go to the specialty steakhouse, which is Pinnacle Grill. You've got the Italian Canaletto there, which is just, I mean, the menus are out of this world for the price you pay. Just brilliant. And then, of course, you follow on dinner with the most incredible world stage entertainment in the theatre. You've got the Rolling Stones Lounge, which is live entertainment, Billboard on board, BB King's. It's music, it's entertainment, it's dancing, right the way through into the night if you want to. So let's take our 28-night cruise out of Hong Kong. First day at sea into Halong Bay in Vietnam here. Emerald green seas, you've got the limestone islands, which are topped by rainforest. You can take junk boat tours here, sea kayaks, the lot. A day at sea, and we're in Da Nang in Chiang Mai in Vietnam. This is the 5th largest city in Vietnam. Famous for its architecture, its sculpture, lots of handicrafts, markets, great scenery and culture there. A day at sea into Nha Trang, where you can take an aerial cable car from here across to Hon Tre Island, which is very, very popular indeed. There are other islands nearby which are reachable by boat, which is a nice way of seeing these places as well. Into Ho Chi Minh City now. Phu Mai is the port in southeastern Vietnam, gateway into Ho Chi Minh City, so tours there to the Mekong Delta and the Saigon Opera House and lots more, of course. This is a wonderful part of the world, actually, to go and explore. Into Cambodia next, Sihanoukville, over 100 temples here, very, very famous beaches, lovely little tropical islands and mangrove jungles here. Again, lots of shore excursion opportunities for you to take. Now, right in the middle of this itinerary, 2 full days in the port for Bangkok. So you've got the chance to see it not only by day, but also by night as well. And we're coming back for another overnight later in the itinerary as well. So you really have got some good time to see everything in Bangkok. We're coming back. Nathon is next in Koh Samui. Again, a lovely tropical location there. Very much famed for temples, sculptures, sights and sounds, and the beautiful markets, of course. A day at sea, and we are into Singapore. Singapore's great to go and see by the day. Go and walk the skywalks, do the gardens by the bay. You've got the Singapore Flyer as well, and great shopping in the city itself. A day at sea, we're starting a new cruise here, but we stay on board. back into the port for Bangkok, back here for 2 full days as well. So you can cross the river to the Wat Arun. You can actually see Bangkok by night as well. Go and see some of the night markets and the festivals, just how the place changes from day to night. A day at sea and we're back into Phu Mai, which is one of the ports into Ho Chi Minh City here. Wonderful gardens, museums, pagodas galore in the city. Again, take up one of those shore excursion opportunities. A day at sea and now we're off to Kota Kinabalu in Malaysia. This is the island of Borneo. The national park is here with its peaks and its rainforests, modern boardwalk, the waterfront itself, the city mosque. Again, lots of choices here. Puerto Princesa in the Philippines is next. You've got the chance to go island hopping here, maybe over into Honda Bay itself. And you've also got the subterranean river there as well, which I think would be a tour I would love to go and do. A day at sea and we stay in the Philippines, this time to the capital in Manila. Rizal Park is here, which is very, very famous indeed. National Museum of Fine Arts is here. You've got great street foods. Visit the Mall of Asia while you're here. It's one of the biggest malls in the world. And you also have the Ocean Park here, which you can go and visit. A day at sea and we leave Westerdam in Hong Kong. We'll then transfer you from the port to the airport for the flight back to Sydney. Oh my gosh! All 3 of these itineraries in this show have been super, super immersive. I love the fact, now looking at the overview here, that you've got 2 overnights in Bangkok, because essentially what we're doing here is 2 cruises. The first one from Hong Kong to Singapore, and then we're picking up the second one and ultimately ending back in Hong Kong as well. But to have 2 overnights in Bangkok is amazing. I mean, yeah, this is a big Asia highlights itinerary. So if you've never done Asia before, this kind of does it in one, which is lovely. Your flight from Sydney to Hong Kong included 3 nights there in a hotel and then 28 nights of cruising on Westerdam, and of course your flight back to Sydney from Hong Kong. And we've done it all somehow for this. I know. Sorry, 32 nights, that massive cruise that we've just talked about, and that price tag. The 3 don't go together at all. I would take this opportunity as quickly as you can. Here's the upgrade prices on board Westerdam. Remember, it's a 28-night cruise on Westerdam. So when you look at your upgrade prices, base that on 28 nights of amazing, classic, laid-back luxury cruising with Holland America Line. You can have the time of your life. The first time I was on board a Holland America Line ship was literally a few weeks ago, and I was blown away. I knew it was good, but you don't know for sure until you're actually on board. And I got on board one of their ships recently and I was totally blown away, and I think you will be as well. I can totally get now why people come back again and again and again to cruise with Holland America Line. And listen, we have all of their itineraries right the way around the world, all here on our website at cruiseaway.com. So if you're looking for big adventures, that is where you will find them. Listen, thank you so much for your company. Myself and Joe are here every day on Gecko at 10 in the morning and then 1 and 4 in the afternoon as well. So I know I'll see you back here for some more great holiday planning. Until then, take care.